Oh, welcome back, everybody. Zachary Chopchinsky here, the Bowtie author. In case I'm sure you know that, because you're here watching this, you know who I am. Sorry to kind of start this one giggling. I'm not going to lie. I've had kind of a creative lull the last few days, and I'm sitting here staring at a screen of my face for the last 15 minutes, and my wife leans over and goes, "If you don't start, I'm going to tickle you." And since I'm about as ticklish as a 16-year-old girl, here I am. So, let's just get started. Hey everybody, sorry I didn't make a video last week. Life's been a little bit crazy as per usual, but I promised weekly videos. And to any new subscribers, by the way, I have a ton of new subscribers. So hey guys, welcome. This is me. This is why you're here. Awesome. Thanks for playing. So, there's a couple things I want to talk about today. Kind of keep it a little bit fun and interesting. But first, I saw something in the store today when I was getting some snacks for me, which is coming up in a couple minutes. What I'm going to talk about is method writing. But, so I was getting some snacks, and one of them is I love spicy stuff. So I got some Flamin' Hot. I probably shouldn't show the logo because they're not paying me. And if I'm showing your stuff, I mean, come on. But, you know, I guess it plays to this bit. So, Flamin' Hot Cheetos. The thing that caught me was, I don't know if you can read it, but there is a competition to, everybody's, oh, look at this Cheeto, here's what it looks like. Alright, this is a competition to find strangely shaped Cheetos in the bag of Crunchy Cheetos, and then you can submit it to them, and you can win like $10,000. I can't believe this is actually a thing, because am I the only one that doesn't look at the Cheetos? Like, who? They go from, like, bag to mouth. At no point do they cross, like, my eyesight to me to be like, oh, hey, this looks like the Helen Keller. I don't know. I don't even know what, I mean, I don't really know what Helen Keller looks like. But, I mean, like, and so who, and also, you're gonna have to, like, eat one of, who eats one of, like, I eat them by the handful, so I just feel like that's just a weird, I had to share that with you guys, because that is some weird shit. The other funny thing that kind of happened to me today is I signed up for a new cell phone carrier. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But the interesting thing is, while we were sitting there, I was sitting there with my lovely wife, and they were asking security questions of who, like, I think I hear her giggling over here. They're asking security questions of, okay, your mother's maiden name, alright, what school did you go to? Who's your favorite author? So the scene was, they're sitting here talking about who's your favorite author, and I have my little attention deficit problem, so I'm staring off at the wall, and it kind of transpired of, oh, who's your favorite author? And then I waited for a minute. She ended up skipping that question and going on to the next one, which is some bullshit, but I'm going to work past that eventually. You know what you did. So, alright, so back to what I was getting at. Something that I want to talk about some folks is I've been having some problems writing a little bit lately. I'm working on the third book in my series. Second book's coming out August 26th, by the way. A lot of you folks that are watching this video are probably going to get a free ebook version. So, yay, because who doesn't love free stuff? So, what I want to talk about a little bit is something that helps me a lot, and if I can impart any of my knowledge of outside of how to tie an actual bow tie out to you guys, it would be one thing that helps me a lot is I'm a method writer. Something that I really need to do is when I'm writing and I'm in a particular character, because again, my little attention deficit problem, I tend to have issues focusing on one key aspect or point for long periods of time. So something that I will do that I found that helps me a lot is when I am inspired to do something, write, create, I have a character in mind, something of that such, I will not only write down what's going on, like this is like the idea so I can later reference it, but I will also make little tiny notes of what was I doing, what was I eating, what could I smell, what was I thinking, what was the day like, was I listening to a song? What was my general mood and atmosphere when that happened? Because later on, when I'm involved in that particular aspect or developing that particular individual, what will then happen is I can then utilize those to kind of replace myself in the mindset that I was in, and that will help me press forward. Writing for me consists of this tiny room, which I'm pretty much touching these two walls. There's a doorway over here, so if the door was closed, it'd be a wall. And then this is not far either. I mean, I'm serious. It's like 6 by 6. It's a very small room. But what I'll do is I'll close the door. I will light incense. My personal favorite. I mean, that stuff right up there. I love Nag Champa. So I usually have a cup of coffee. I'll light some incense, turn out all the lights. I'll have a fan blowing cool air on my face. And then I will listen to music. Music is the huge helper with anything that I'm doing, because I listen to a lot of music, and certain songs can just pull that emotion right out of you. And songs themselves, a good song or a good piece will tell a story. So I will always utilize something like that. So that's kind of my advice to you a little bit on that. If you're ever having some problems writing like I have been lately, even though I've been doing everything that I absolutely can, I'm kind of starting from scratch in a lot of areas, so I don't really have that necessarily that fallback experience. So I'm a little tricky, but something that I'm working on. Another little piece of advice that I kind of wanted to share is something that I was doing today. Is as I'm writing this next book, I'm developing character profiles, and that's something that I very strongly recommend, again, to new people, or new authors, or people that are curious, or people that have been doing it for a long time, or just whatever. My advice from me to you. That's where we're going with it. Character profiles. So some things that I like to do when I'm developing characters is I'm very particular about names. If I name a character something, there is a reason for that. I was named, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I was named Zach because my dad was obsessed with Officer and a Gentleman. I was named after a Richard Gere character, Zach Mayo. There's that. So, don't you laugh at me. You're my wife. That's supposed to... So, I will always, I was named after my grandpa, so I will always think of a reason why... Spoiler. In my book right now, it takes place during the Civil War. And one of my characters' name is Elizabeth. She's a young slave girl. And the reason why she was named Elizabeth was the fact that, unfortunately, the plantation owner had a daughter who loved playing queen and princess tea parties, and named her Elizabeth so then she could pretend she's having tea with the queen. It's an unfortunate scenario, but that's sort of the thing that I'm going for here. So I create kind of character profiles. Their name. Why were they named that? What do they look like? Did I describe them head to toe? Are they an orphan? Do they have parents? What was their relationship like with their parents? Because that's a huge factor of what kind of governs a lot of us, is our upbringing, so to speak, our parental units. What sort of things they like, what sort of things they don't like. I even go down to the food. And that's something that I do to every character that's in one of my books. They get a full spreadsheet. And so then when I'm having them interact in certain scenarios, I can literally ask, well, what would this character do? So yeah, this is some things that I wanted to get off and kind of throw back to you guys a little bit. I know I'm not the big professional on the block or anything of that such, but these are just some things as a humble indie author who's kind of growing and finding my own. I'm becoming a lady. And these are things that kind of really are helping me grow, and I just kind of wanted to share them a little bit with you guys. That's essentially all I had for this one. Trying to think of a way to make it funnier. I felt like, the Cheetos thing was pretty funny. I like to... If you're just watching this for the first time, I like to try to be funny. I mean, you shouldn't try to be funny, don't try. Well, it's not that easy sometimes. Yeah, so again, Zachary Chopchinsky, Bowtie Author. Thank you for coming by. To all my new subscribers, thank you very much for participating, and hopefully you find me entertaining. Whether you're laughing with me or at me, I get laughs. I really don't push where it came from. It's one of those, my daddy didn't love me enough. So whether you're laughing with me or at me, I'm happy with it. So, thanks for coming around, guys. I appreciate the support, the videos, everything like that. And might be having some good news coming up here soon. I got to share with you guys, okay? Cool. Bye!